What's up guys, Stefan Kubus here from MiHockey, bringing you a review of NHL 18, EA Sports' latest installment in the storied video game franchise. I've been finding time here and there to go hands-on with the game over this past week, so let's dive right in. Upon loading the game for the first time, you'll be greeted with a series of screens where you can initialize your settings based on your experience level. Though it just scratches the surface with how much you can truly customize the feel of the gameplay, it's the perfect introduction for those new to the franchise. Additionally, EA has partnered with Hockey Canada this year to provide an all-new training camp mode, which helps teach you both basic and advanced moves with the controller. The basic user interface and menu structure has been slightly revamped this year, for the better too. Users can now pin up to 3 of their favorite game modes to the main menu for quick and easy access. As someone who's spent a good chunk of time in franchise mode, the menus there are much more concise than in past years too. Loading times are still a bit of a problem, but that's nothing new if you've been playing on PS4 or Xbox One since NHL 15. And to be fair, they've been increasingly faster year after year. Personally, I miss the days of seamlessly accessing menus and simulating entire franchise mode seasons in just a couple minutes, but what can you do? The full NBC Sports presentation is back with Doc Emmerich and Eddie Olczyk calling the action from the booth with Ray Ferraro between the benches. Now, often with presentations, the little things I notice from year to year that really catch my eye or ear the most. One of these things is the new variety of camera angles, notably for goals. During one of the replays of a goal, I saw a zoomed out shot that really caught the crowd reaction, and maybe it's just because I'm a presentation nut, but it was a really cool touch to see. When playing franchise mode with the new expansion team I made, it was cool to hear the announcers comment on my new franchise's first goal in history, and then seeing a player skate over and toss the goal puck to the trainer.
There it is, Doc, the first ever goal for this new expansion team. They collect the puck. Just had a thought, though. Who's going to get it? Him? Or does it go into the franchise Hall of Fame?
Now, it's the same animation they already use for players scoring their first NHL goal, but it's still nice that they added it here as well. Additionally, there's a brand new Stanley Cup Celebration too, which has been sorely needed since the series first came to PS4 and Xbox One with NHL 15. And one note for Red Wings fans, Little Caesars Arena is not in the game currently. However, I did find it interesting that the Joe Louis Arena name also is not in. Instead, the Wings play out of the same modeled building as the Joe, but it's called Detroit Arena instead. Now, EA has never had an issue in the past acquiring the JLA name for its game, so perhaps there are plans to add the LCA through a patch later this season. Two huge additions I was really excited to try out when it comes to gameplay were the creative attack deeks and the defensive skill stick. The series really hasn't seen the likes of these creative attack deeks since NHL 06. Players can now go between the legs with the puck, both to score and to pass. There's the famous Datsuk backhand toe drag move and the ability to tuck the puck in one-handed. And on the defensive side of the puck, the defensive skill stick finally allows defensemen the same sort of tools that forwards have at their disposal. Defenders can now keep their feet moving while extending their stick for a poke check or just to block a lane. You also notice it in shot blocking. If you hold down the button to block a shot, you can also turn your body and stick in either direction for further precision in shutting down your opponent. The AI has been improved this year, though it's far from perfect. Your own CPU teammates seem to read passing lanes better, which makes your breakout more seamless and effective. That's a plus. However, there were still times when I found the CPU turning away from the puck for whatever reason, or failing to stop for an incoming puck, though clearly several feet off sides. Picking up a loose puck along the boards after a big hit can still be tough. Oftentimes the opposing player will have no problem getting back up and regaining control. I even had an issue with this in open ice, as you can see here. After seeing that, I'd like to see players programmed to automatically pick up the puck in those situations. When ramping up the difficulty to Superstar, the game's highest mode, the opposing AI becomes pretty tough to play against. I felt truly accomplished if I could score 1 or 2 in a game. In fact, it seemed like I had to exploit the AI's movements just to score. By that I mean, rather than putting together a great passing play, I had to wiggle back and forth to see if I could confuse the programmed CPU to move the wrong way. But what doesn't help that is it feels like your own team's AI somehow gets dumber with simple missed assignments in front of the net and just generally being out of position on the breakout or in the defensive zone. That said, the gameplay option menu allows for ample customization of your offline experience, so if you find you're having issues with your offline gameplay, you can try tweaking it to your liking there. I found the default All-Star difficulty to feel pretty good off the start, and that's the same difficulty set to be used when playing online, which is good. But when it comes to creating a 100% realistic hockey game, It's nearly impossible given how dynamic the sport is. Player-on-player collisions, stick-on-stick, stick-on-puck, stick-on-skate. It's just tough to mimic game-like situations since there are so many variables at play compared to a more static sport. One of the most requested features when it comes to Be a Pro mode made it in this year, the ability to request a trade. Yes, even your virtual superstar can pull a Danny Heatley and bolt from your team if it's not working out. That adds a pretty cool dynamic to how players can shape their career. Now, I didn't spend a whole lot of time with Be a Pro mode simply because I've seen what 2K does with their NBA games, and they set a pretty high bar with career mode. Personally, I'd love to see EA adopt something like that for its NHL games, but there's a good foundation in place with the CHL, ECHL, and AHL teams at the core, but it needs that big-time feel rather than just yes or no text prompts. The EA Sports Hockey League is back, of course, and really it's the quintessential beer league mode. Grab some buddies, create your players and teams from scratch, and compete in a league against other squads across the world. One big addition this year is that players no longer have to wait until they have their entire team of 5 or 6 online at once to play. EA SHL now has a 3-on-3 format, which should both add a refreshing twist on the popular mode and encourage more people to play if they don't have a full traditional team. But perhaps the best part about Be a Pro and EA SHL? The brand new Nhl Threes should be one of the more popular modes this year, I imagine. It's somewhat of a callback to the days of NHL Hits and EA's own 3-on-3 arcade from 2009, and the fact that it's a full-on arcade mode. There's big hits, money pucks that give you an additional goal when scoring, ice pucks that give you a goal and take one away from your opponent, a smaller ice sheet but also much more open ice with 3-on-3 hockey. Threes can be played offline in a head-to-head mode or through a campaign-style mode where you take on teams from across different leagues in a circuit to unlock new arenas for use in the mode. And of course, Threes can be played online using any team in the game, including any of the 32 from the European-based Champions Hockey League, which is new in this year's game. With the gaming scene having shifted heavily to the online side over the last 10 years, it's good to see EA offer a new fun way to play on the couch with your friends. Since franchise mode became a thing in the NHL series, it's been my go-to. There's nothing quite like playing virtual GM, drafting, and building the team of your dreams with the Stanley Cup hopefully waiting at the end of the road. Now new this year is the ability to conduct an expansion draft. The Vegas Golden Knights are in the game, of course, but if you want to go one step further, you can add a 32nd team to the NHL and start with a brand new team, which is what I did. I created my own franchise from scratch, everything from the goal horn and colors of the seats in the arena, to the logos, uniforms, and even a mascot, which is a new touch this year. Once you're ready to draft, essentially you get the leftovers that Vegas didn't pick up as the Golden Knights start with their actual roster. Another minor, albeit important addition to franchise mode is the ability to sign your players to contract extensions during the season. This allows for much more creativity and control of your team and allows you to better manage your needs at the trade deadline, draft, and then free agency. Hockey Ultimate Team is arguably the game's most popular mode, especially given it can be played entirely offline if chosen. If you're not familiar, Hockey Ultimate Team gives players like me the nostalgic feeling of collecting hockey cards once again, except now they come to life. Well, virtual life. Users can assemble a team consisting of any of the players in the game from any league. There are a couple ways to acquire new players. One is by purchasing packs, either with pucks, the in-game currency, or by spending PlayStation or Xbox points. There are bronze, silver, and gold packs corresponding to the different levels of players, so your gold packs will net you NHL players, while the bronze and silver will give you players from the other leagues. EA also offers specialty cards and packs throughout the season, including a Team of the Week that they assemble based on real-life performances. The other way to acquire players is by bidding on them in the marketplace. You can search for players, jerseys, logos, arenas, and collectible items, and bid your hard-earned pucks to try and snag your favorite player at a discount. It's an addicting mode, but one I primarily play offline because A, I don't have as much time to dedicate toward it, and B, it can be tough to keep up with those who regularly pour money into buying points and packs. Draft Champions is basically an opportunity to earn rewards for Ultimate Team and also try out some of the very best cards in the game. To start, you're given a team of silver and bronze tiered players. From there, you run through a mini 12-round draft where each round has you choose one of 4 players. All players in the specific round will roughly share the same overall attribute ranking. The last 2 rounds usually offer some of the best players in the game, including legends. I was lucky enough to get Mike Vernon and Rob Blake at the end of my first attempt. Simply put, NHL 18 does breathe some new life and creativity into the series, and fortunately, the new stuff outweighs some of the minor gameplay frustrations that would normally turn me away early in past seasons. With a solid base, the biggest thing I'd like to see EA continue building on is their progress with the AI to make both teammates and opponents smarter. NHL 18 releases Friday on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.